Hello drone racers. In my last flight of the Diatone GT2 2017 edition, I managed to ruin pretty much all four props. They got smashed and I smashed my antenna to pieces. That was the second antenna that I had destroyed in that review, so I decided it's time to try something different. One of the few things I didn't like about this model is the antenna position. I love that it's connected here, that there's an angle to it, but there's simply not enough angle. With the antenna sticking out here, it is far too close to the props, and even a small connection got it into the props, and I broke two AMWay antennas just like this. So I'm not going to try this again. Even with it connected and bent at an angle, it just wouldn't stay. So I need to try something different. What I suggested in that video and what I'm going to try is a 45-degree SMA angle antenna. So there's a link to these below. It's only like $2, so it should work pretty well, I think. And it will give me the additional angle that I need. I know in Joshua Bardwell's video, he suggested that some people to him are saying just bend this plate, and I'm not sure that'll work. The way this is connected, the strong metal here that you would have to bend at, and that's the bend line, is kind of right in the middle of this connector. So I just simply don't think that will work well without damaging things. So I'm gonna try this adapter. I'm just gonna get it on finger tight here, but I'm going to get it so it's secure because I don't want this to move or else it will totally defeat the point. So there we go, and there, and that is on good and tight. I actually am, because that's still moving just a little bit, I am going to use a pair of wrench pliers here and get it just a little bit tighter because I want it to snug down all the way. There we go. Now that's better. Now it's not moving. So then I also need another antenna, and I don't want to connect on another AMWay antenna. That makes it really tall. If I put that on there now, that just kind of looks silly. So I wanted to get a smaller antenna. I ordered this Turbo Wing right-hand mushroom antenna, and honestly, I'm not sure what this is on the inside. It kind of looks like it would be a 4-lobe cloverleaf antenna, but it's not big enough. There you can see side by side, it's just a little bit smaller. So either they have just screwed up the dimensions of this and it is a cloverleaf inside, or it's something else. And I tried, but this case is really secure and I don't really want to break it before I try it. So maybe we'll go out and try it, and then after I record that just to make sure it works, then I'll come in and take this top off and we'll see what's inside. Part of what I like about it is it's much shorter. It's still pretty tall by comparison. Now with this adapter on here, I could really just get a pure stubby antenna, but it's significantly shorter than the AMWay. So there we go. That's still tall hanging off of there, but it's not nearly as tall. But part of what I liked about it is with this really solid case, I think it will at least be more durable. I could break off the connector here if you get in the props, but at least I'm not going to rip up the antenna itself like happened before. This is really strong. I tried to just pry it off a little bit and it wouldn't go. It's going to take some pretty major force to take that off. So now I'm much more confident in the ability to be able to fly this without breaking the antenna at least. Seeing it now, I probably would get an even shorter antenna option. If it was maybe half that height, it would be pretty good. After that though, my thought is, okay, maybe I don't need a circularly polarized antenna on this. Just get a linear antenna without the adapter, with the straight piece, and a stiff linear antenna that is not going to move. I don't want it to bend at all. I just want it to be totally stiff. Slide it in here and it'll stay between the blades, hopefully. But I'm going to try this next. Not planning a super exciting flight here because it's really just to test and make sure the antenna works. Make sure it connects. I'm not sure what my video signal is at, and I didn't even have time to fully charge my battery. I think I'm only at 25 milliwatts right now. So can handle connectivity. We can still see video looks good. It's still a little shaky. Got low power. I've got low power. Not gonna have time for much of a flight, but hey, it works. That's all I'm mainly concerned about. That and the fact that it is so wet out there on the grass that I don't want to touch it. So I'm gonna try and bring this in very gently, but we're gonna call that enough of a success. That was a really quick flight because, as I mentioned, it was soaking wet, and I really didn't want to get this drone all wet and ruin it from the water, but I did want to go out and test it. I was at 25 milliwatts, I double checked, but the range still seemed a little bit short, I'll be honest. It did not seem outstanding. We'll have to do some additional testing, but it was still well within racing range, so if I was going out racing, I wouldn't have any concerns about video problems, and it looked nice and clear at least. When I came into land, it bounced and I ended up upside down, and I want to show you that's as much as it did. So before, the problem I was having is the antenna would have bent and been caught in the props and broken off. Now it bent, and this doesn't have a lot of movement to it. It bent down that way and was well clear of the props without any issues at all. So what probably would have been a third broken antenna now was no big deal at all. So if you have one of these, I would definitely highly recommend the adapter. And this antenna, I'm going to reserve judgment on. I'm going to do some more testing with, but for now it seemed definitely good enough, and it survived the crash, even though it was just a little crash. So if you found this useful, leave a like down below. If you have a different antenna you would recommend I try for this scenario, let me know. This one seems good and durable, but there's always lots of options out there. I think there's actually a benefit to having one that doesn't bend very much. Like these bend around a lot, and actually that's a bad thing for this. I don't want it to bend very much. Make sure you subscribe so you see all the new videos coming out. I try to do 4 a week. We'll see if I'm able to continue that with the kids back in school, but I'm going to do my best. So until next time, remember, this may be called a mushroom antenna, but you really shouldn't eat it.